Hello friends, Lisa here. I wanted to do a 1 year update of having long COVID. I have the kind of nightmare case scenario with COVID, although not the worst case scenario, because let's not forget that 20 million people have died from this illness and people do die from long COVID as well. I am alive and I'm very grateful to be alive. I have good days and I'm grateful for that too. I actually have a lot to be grateful for. I'm safe and I'm fairly comfortable, at least in my environment, if not in my body. I'm still able to work. Yeah, there's a lot to be thankful for. So that's what I want to start out with, is just trying to stay positive. There's so much research and science that, having a positive attitude with any illness is really conducive to healing and better outcomes. So I just want to start off with staying positive. My diagnosis is ME/CFS type long COVID. That stands for myalgic encephalomyelitis chronic fatigue syndrome. Long COVID has over 170 recognized symptoms. That doesn't mean everybody who has long COVID has that many symptoms. Some people have one or two. Some people have a persistent cough. Some people have insomnia. Some people have brain fog. All of those things are really separate illnesses and separate body systems, but the common denominator is started off with COVID. What I have is ME/CFS. Again, that stands for chronic fatigue syndrome, but even that can be many different things and have many different expressions, and I'll get into that in a second. So, as far as my symptoms go, I want to talk about what I don't have first. I don't have fatigue. So despite the name chronic fatigue syndrome, I don't have fatigue. And I've had fatigue in the past, especially when I had anemia, which I no longer have cured, thankfully. But I know what it's like to have fatigue, and I know what it's like to feel like you're swimming through water all day and really struggling to even move or do anything, and you have to fight through your day. I know that feeling. I sympathize with it. I empathize with it. I'm grateful I do not have that, and I have not had that since I've had long COVID. So far, I don't know, maybe I'll develop it, but that's not been an issue so far. I also don't have brain fog. That's another hallmark symptom of long COVID and ME/CFS, and I don't have it cognitively up to this point. I'm totally lucid, normal energy when I talk, able to concentrate for many hours, no memory issues or anything like that. I do have where if I exert myself mentally, it will cause my symptoms to flare up. So I consider that something a little bit different than brain fog, but too much mental exertion, too much talking definitely causes my symptoms to be worse, but I don't have any trouble. I feel sharp, let's just put it that way. Symptoms that I had that have gone away. Initially, I had a lot of weight loss, lack of appetite. I've really struggled to eat. That has resolved, but it kind of comes and goes. My appetite does fluctuate, and I do also get gastroparesis, but that has been my whole life. So independent of COVID, I've always had a fluctuating appetite and weight loss, periodically. I also had 3 instances of vertigo that lasted about 2 weeks each. Quite severe, where you feel like you're on a boat or something constantly. Again, that's resolved. The last time I had that was probably 2 months ago or something. I do have an appointment to see a vertigo specialist, but basically it's resolved. And then the other thing I had was PVCs. Shortly after my initial infection, lasting about probably 4 months, I had PVCs, which is when you feel like your heart's fluttering or skipping a beat, like that, blah feeling, which not everybody gets that, but if you know, I guess. So that feeling I had for, like I said, about 4 months, and I would get these episodes that would last a couple hours of that. So that not just an isolated PVC, but just continual almost. and that's resolved as well. So, okay, so now I'm going to get into a very strange symptom that I have periodically that nobody can figure out, is that I get these episodes of basically paralysis. And so this has happened probably about 10 times this whole time, starting probably around January, maybe like once a month or every few weeks. Like I said, I don't have fatigue, but then I have these episodes that I would say it's like very profound fatigue, where I can just manage to get to my bed and then I can't move at all for like 2 or 3 hours. It's not like, oh, I'm tired, I need to take a nap. It's like I'm maybe even crawling to my bed, getting in bed, and then I can't lift my head, I can't turn over, I can't sit up, engage my torso, my hands curl up, my legs feel like there's no signal getting from my brain to my legs, like almost like paralyzed. I can't speak. I wouldn't be able to call out for help if I needed it. I can't focus my eyes. I can't think straight. I wouldn't be able to look at my phone. I wouldn't be able to process any information at all. I'm like almost like a vegetable. And these episodes, again, like they don't last very long, thankfully. But I have no clue what's causing it. And I've talked to the neurologist about this and I'm like, is this like a stroke or something? Like, what is this? Like, nobody knows. Okay. So, but again, thankfully it's like not that frequently. And it's been about a month since it's happened. And I'm like, maybe that won't happen again. That's what I'm hoping. But I don't know if it's just an extreme form of post-exertional malaise or what is going on. That is that. Besides that weirdness, I do have like symptoms day to day. And so these are my like regular symptoms I experience pretty much every day. Skin pain. I feel like I have a sunburn all over my entire body. Facial flushing. Insomnia, sometimes I do wake up feeling refreshed, sometimes I don't. I have a lot of vivid dreams, very stressful dreams and nightmares. Sleep can be very uncomfortable for me. Temperature dysregulation, that's been a huge one for me. And something that you don't realize that your body is doing in the background to keep you comfortable until you lose the ability to regulate your temperature. So if I stand up, I get chills. If I walk across the room, I get chills. If I pretty much move or do anything at all, I get chills. If I drink a glass of water, I get chills. If I eat something, I get chills. I just have chills all the time. Not so much overheating, it does happen, but it's mainly chills. Like I just can't keep my body temperature up, I guess. I don't know. I get malaise, like a flu-like feeling, and intermittent leg pain. I mean, my main complaint is that I have a very limited capacity. Before I got sick, I was exercising every day, 3 to 4 hours a day, several different workouts, swim, bike, run, trail running, going up mountains, hiking, rock climbing, yoga, Pilates, you name it. I was bodybuilding, weightlifting. I was doing everything. Like I truly, truly love exercise. And I have not exercised in a year. 1 year, no exercise. I'd be afraid to do a physique video. Although, I just look skinny fat right now. Like I just have no muscle tone at all. My muscles have totally atrophied. I did spend 3 months on bed rest. I have muscle atrophy. I have capsulitis in my right hip. So just from spending all that time in bed. So that's been my experience with my symptoms. As far as testing and stuff goes, the only things that have come back positive are, well, my hormones. My sex hormones are all messed up because I have PCOS, so they always have been anyways. My brain MRI showed lesions all over my brain. And I had an EMG in my left leg was abnormal. So I'd like to get a muscle biopsy to follow up on the EMG, but that's all pending. And everything else has just been dead ends. Basically, I was tested for MS, ALS, myasthenia gravis, all sorts of autoimmune type stuff, and everything's totally negative. Thyroid was fine. Small fiber neuropathy test came back negative, which I was really surprised because I have so much pain in my skin. So yeah, a lot of dead ends. $50,000 worth of dead ends. Thankfully, I have insurance for the next 3 months. Then I lose it. Thank you, Republicans. I knew that was going to happen, and I was really hoping to have this all resolved and sewed up and be back to my normal healthy self by the time I lost my health insurance, but that's not going to happen. Also, very slow process with all this stuff because it takes so long to get appointments with specialists. Something that's so great about the US healthcare system, it can take like a year to get an appointment with a specialist. And they say that like long wait times are the problem with socialized medicine, but I digress. The one thing that's really helped me is taking antihistamines, H1 and H2 blockers. I feel like they really do help with my symptoms a lot. Take them every day. Also taking a multivitamin and vitamin D, vitamin C. I find that NSAIDs also help with my symptoms, and benzodiazepine also helps with my symptoms. I do believe there's a huge mind-body connection, and one of the biggest causes of my symptoms is stress. But the stress is often from feeling sick. So it's not like external stress, it's stress from my own body. So it's a kind of a feedback loop. But people get very turned off when you say that long COVID has like a mental component to it. But I absolutely believe that it does, just because I think there's a huge mind-body connection. And I think that it's a mistake in our society that we separate mental health and physical health for so many reasons. But people with long COVID will get very offended if you say, oh, I think there's a trauma aspect to this, or this is related. There's a lot of research that shows that people who've experienced PTSD, which I had experienced PTSD twice from traumatic events, at least twice, 3 if you count 9/11, that people have experienced trauma are much more likely to develop long COVID. That's like scientifically proven. That's some research they have done. So I think, trauma lives in your body, as Bessel van der Kolk would say. The body keeps the score. The trauma lives in your physiologic body, not just in your brain. And I think that for some reason, long COVID activates all of that, and it keeps your nervous system and your immune system on high alert all the time, and it causes these horrible symptoms, and it takes you away from your life. So anyways, that's my update. One of the things that I miss, not just exercise, but it's doing YouTube and making YouTube videos and being part of the community and everything. And this disease has really silenced me and taken that away from me, and that does make me very sad. But I think about making YouTube videos probably 10 times a day. Every single day I'm want to be producing content because it's a great creative source for me and outlet for me. But that's what I've got for now, and hopefully just gives you some insights on what I've been going through and what life is like for somebody with long COVID. It is real. All right, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.